Hi, I'm Laura Flanders of The Laura Flanders Show. Watch every week on Free Speech TV, Link TV, YouTube, or if you're in New York, CUNY TV. Prefer to listen? Subscribe to the free podcast at lauraflanders.com. I end every week with a commentary. I call it the F word. Here's this week's. Women's History Month is over, thank heavens, but we didn't emerge unscathed. As often happens, lawmakers used the month to get a little news glow by doing something awful in the name of protecting us from something terrible. This March, the Senate approved the Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act, or SESTA, a version of which has already passed on the House side. Sex trafficking is terrible. No one's for it, everyone's against it. What's awful is what SESTA does, which is encourage big tech firms to robo-police the internet with trawling filters that won't know a survivor story from a sex ad. Spew hate, teach terror, harass, dox, pimp, meddle with elections. There is no question that people do bad things online. SESTA supporters say their bill will make those things easier to stop by making platform owners criminally liable for the acts of their platform's users. The thing is, we already have laws on the books to prosecute most of those things. The biggest offenders have always had the most brilliant lawyers. It's the prosecution that's been the problem. Under SESTA, the tech giants like Google and Facebook will bring in more big-dollar lawyers to defend themselves, but send out more broadly spread robo-cops to police everybody else. The result, civil liberties groups predict, will be more online censorship, and that will result in less safety, ironically enough, for sex workers and people who try to help sex trafficking victims escape. That's why a large array of trafficking survivors and their advocates, as well as the National Organization for Women, LGBT groups, and free speech advocates like the Electronic Freedom Frontier and the ACLU all opposed SESTA. Unintended consequences? Tragic? Well, possibly, except the consequences are so utterly predictable. I think, for example, of our report on the anti-sex trafficking law in Alaska that led to the prosecution of women for trafficking themselves when they teamed up in mutual aid groups for greater control and safety. Criminalized for helping each other, they were put back out in the streets alone and afraid. Equality, liberty, fellowship. These are not strange things to want, but they're awfully hard to get from the white capitalist patriarchy. As we should all know by now, old police with new powers have never worked out well for the most vulnerable. Now we're looking to a signing ceremony in which the world's most dangerous predator, President Trump, will be signing an anti-predation law. Spare us from patriarchs promising protection. Write to me, tell me what you think. That's Laura, Laura, at lauraflanders.com, and subscribe to get another F word next week. The Laura Flanders Show is a TV and radio program that seeks to raise radical spirits by interviewing forward-thinking people with real experiences of shifting power from the few to the many in the worlds of economics, arts, and politics. Join us.